All right, guys. Before we move on, just to let you know, if you have certain watches that maybe you want to trade in, or perhaps you have a watch you've been looking for that you really want, but you're not sure how you can get it, we can actually help do it for you. Just fill in the details in the Google form in the comment section or the description. Either we'll already have what you want, or we will do everything we can to get it for you. So yeah, comment section and description. Why you absolutely need to have some King Seiko in your watch portfolio. Or at least that's what Jensen and Mr. Michael here
is a must, man.
And yeah, so well, I think the name there is like king. You know,
Yep.
who doesn't want, or who doesn't want to be a king, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Jensen, why?
Well, okay, so when it comes to King Seiko, you have to understand the history. It's a watch full of history.
Yeah.
And let me just start with a very modern brand first, which is a Grand Seiko. Everyone loves a Grand Seiko. It's one of the best watches out there that has one of the best finishing in the industry. And it is very affordable compared to the similarly
Twin brothers?
quality.
Yeah.
Twin brothers? Which
No,
brothers?
Twin brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Grand Seiko is an awesome watch, but not many people know back then there was actually another twin brother, which is the King Seiko.
Yes.
Both Grand Seiko and King Seikos are considered the higher quality Seiko, designed by rival factories or internal rival factories, Suwa and Daini. So Suwa came out with Grand Seiko and Daini came out with King Seiko. So the history of King Seiko is as such. So back then, Japanese wanted to rival the Swiss watchmakers by coming out with their own world-class watch. But because Japanese watchmakers, Citizen, Seiko, even back then there's Ricoh and there's Orient, they are all within their Japanese competition. So they are not really competing at the world stage with the Swiss. And in order for you to compete with the Swiss, you need to join this competition called the observatory competitions or the chronometer competitions. And that's where you get to compete with the big boys. So King Seiko and Daini and Suwa came out with their versions to compete at the observatory competitions. And it was the Suwa factory, the Daini factory that got ahead first. So King Seiko was at one point ahead of Grand Seiko. Now I'm here talking about the very first King Seiko, which is the J14102. This is the very first King Seiko produced in 1962. And this is one King Seiko that is not very popular, but is rising in popularity because King Seiko's name right now, because of the reissue, the SPB 281, if I'm not wrong, and that reignited people's passion about King Seiko, which was once the twin brother of Grand Seiko. So coming back to this watch, you have everything that you need to see in a King Seiko. We have the word King Seiko here. The later versions King Seiko are all below KS,
yes,
or King Seiko for the older
versions. And
the logo Seiko will always be at the top.
Yeah.
So the only two models with the King Seiko at the top without the Seiko model is the J14102, which is this one, and another one which is the J15032.
This is quite rare.
Both of these are quite rare. The rarer one being J15. I'll talk a little bit about J15 later. But for the J14 and the J15, what you want to look out for in the first two models of King Seiko is that the King Seiko is at the top, it's not at the bottom. And then what they have here below that 25 jewel thing is this thing called, and this is important, the special dial.
Yes.
So there's a special dial, there's an applied dial, there's an extra dial.
Okay.
So it's a star-like logo. A special dial means that this is really gold filling. So it's solid gold. If it's an applied dial, which means it's gold plating. I mean, if it's an extra dial, I don't remember what extra dial meant.
I think it's the materials used on the dial and the index.
Yes.
Index hand.
Yeah, the material used on index hand, it's not precious metal, basically. Yeah.
Correct.
So for King Seiko 14 and 15, you'll be looking for special dial logo as well. So you make sure that it's a solid gold.
Yeah.
Behind you have the legendary King Seiko shield.
The shield.
Yeah,
correct.
this is what you want to go for in a King Seiko as well. This is what you will see in the 999 models.
Looks like
4499.
a badge.
It looks like a badge.
Yes.
Yes,
Like
but
the
they call it a King Seiko
Barcelona
shield.
football club badge.
Yeah, it does look like
Barcelona fans, go look for yourself a King Seiko.
Now, guys, if you have a watch in mind that you want us to review that we haven't reviewed yet, just let us know in the comments, right? We'll definitely respond to that and get to you ASAP. Yeah.
But to be honest, I think I like to add on to what Jensen said. I mean that why this series we say that you must have at least one
Yes.
King Seiko in your portfolio, because both of us have witnessed the price of King Seiko has moved out, skyrocketed. It's crazy. It's seriously crazy.
Like, how?
So I mean it was like from 1,000, 1,001, 1,002, 1,005, 1,006, 1,008. Now it's like 2,000, 2,002. Some of them is selling
In a
even
span
like
of?
2,005.
In a span of?
Bro,
Again,
3,000 I think.
Yeah, 3,000.
Ringgit,
Less than 10 years.
Yeah.
Less than 10
Three times, yes. Wow. So yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, I mean, all the audience in front of us, we are trying our best now. I told Jensen to get hold of about 10 pieces from Japan. I mean, any one of you who are interested, please.
You want a
do it
potential
fast.
discount? Yeah. Let us know.
Discount. I mean, I don't even know whether I got a stock or not, because once you get it in your portfolio, well, I'm not talking about 3,000 for this piece from our side. We're going to give it lower to our audience.
Right.
To make sure that this will be their first piece of vintage watches that they can make money.
You know what makes it interesting is that it feels like the first ancestor.
Oh,
It is.
It is.
Now, if you talk about King Seiko, you have to talk about grammar of design.
Yes.
When it comes to the grammar design, what they're looking for is to maximize the shine or the sheen of the watch, using their own way of cutting the watch, of finishing the watch. And the reason why J15 is more popular, if you're a collector, if you're a serious collector, get both the J15 and J14, is because for the J15, the lugs are more angular, which is what we see in the more modern King Seikos as well as Grand Seikos.
So if I summarize maybe the 3 to 4 reasons why you should get it. One, of course, the price skyrockets.
Skyrocket.
Number 2, you are buying the Gong Gong, the grandfather of
all. Correct. The Gong Gong of KS.
And number 3 is that it's rare.
Yes.
It's not only just rare, because it is 1962, 1963, 1964, to find a good one.
Yes.
A mint one.
Yeah.
It's not just rare.
Let's
really
put it
difficult.
into this word. It's definitely a conversation starter when you wear it on your wrist. Definitely.
And number 4, if I'm hearing correctly, it has a modern watch feel as well. It looks good today as it did in the 60s.
Because the reinterpretation is exactly the same. They actually...
The 4499, 44999, 44KS as well.
Correct.
So the thing about the modern part about this vintage is that its grammar of design had lasted through the last 70 years and is even influencing the modern Seiko high-end watches as well. So that's how long living this legacy is.
Correct.
Alright guys, you heard why the top reasons why you should be a king and get some King Seikos into your portfolio. And I know, as usual, guys, thank you so much for sharing all this kind of information that you can't really get online. It's a bit hard to do it.
On the contrary, there are so many articles online or literature online that you can read about, and do read about it, because if you want to collect a King or any Seiko vintages, read up.
You heard that, guys. Read up, and if you want discounts, maybe.
Yes, we will try to get that 10 pieces.
Alright, guys. Thanks for coming on as usual.
No problem.
And guys, thanks for staying all the way until the end. Hope to see you in the next video.